today is the end of our long unit of immigration.
In Ms. Desiree Soleimani's fourth grade class, administrators observe a culminating lesson for a unit on immigration. Students come to class having read required material, then respond to specific questions to clarify information and contribute to a discussion.
Over the past month, my students have been learning all about immigration. So we started by talking about immigration mostly in the early 1900s during Ellis Island. We read a lot of articles kind of explaining the reasons different people came to the United States, the journey coming to Ellis Island, and what the process was like. Today I'm asking that you use your passion, you use your excitement, you disagree with each other because we know that's okay, and you have a conversation. So we have our 4 sentence frames. I'm just going to review them really quickly. I agree with Kennedy because... I agree with Kennedy because... I want to add on to Christian that... I want to add on to Christian that... I disagree with Vanya because... I disagree with Vanya because... And I see what you mean, Frankie, but here's my opinion. I see what you mean, Frankie, but here's my opinion. Will you take one and pass it down, please? Actually, take the bigger stack. And you two take one, pass it down. You're going to get a cue card right now, an index card. Then you're going to draw 3 little boxes. Those 3 boxes represent how many times you have spoken or written a comment on the news feed. Your goal today is to try to speak 3 times or write 3 comments. Now, let's say you all of a sudden have spoken 5 times. I want you to step back and think, who in the circle has not shared? Maybe I'm speaking a little bit too much. The next part you're going to do is flip it over. Here we're going to write a goal that you have for yourself. So I'm going to give you some examples in case you can't think of one. Well, I will build off 2 people. Maybe you're really working on listening and processing and responding. So maybe that's going to be your goal. Another example, I will listen more carefully to what other people say. Maybe you're working on your listening skills this time around. All right, you guys ready for the first question?
Oh, yes.
You're going to use your passion. You're excited?
Yes. Yes.
You're not afraid to disagree with people, right?
No.
All right, so the first one is for everybody. The question is, describe one word, or tell me one word that describes immigration in one word.
Deported.
Hopeful. Freedom. Freedom too.
Unfair.
Leaving. Fair. Justice. Crying.
You're going to see 2 circles, the inner circle and the outer circle. The inner circle is made up of mostly more vocal students, those who are more comfortable speaking in the classroom. And then the outer circle is a little bit more of my shyer students, my ELL students who are not as comfortable speaking out loud yet.
Why do you think immigration describes freedom?
It describes freedom because where they live probably don't have freedom. They can't go to college. But in America, you could almost like do anything.
Yeah, but what if you're undocumented?
You could. If you're undocumented, you probably can't do so much things, but you could still do some things.
You can still become a citizen.
Yeah, you can still become a citizen.
But how can you become a citizen?
You just need to work hard. You just need to work hard, and then and after like a few years or something, or we made that one timeline.
It'll pay off.
It'll pay off, and you become a citizen.
The outer circle, they're going to be using iPads and a website called todaysmeet.com, which basically sets up an online forum for them. We're going to move on to the next question. We have a lot more questions, so you'll have more time to talk about this. Outer circle, you too, we're starting a new question. I saw them write a lot of the same thing. Somebody wrote scary, and it looks like Josiah was agreeing with Daniel in the inner circle, so awesome job. The next question is, do you prefer primary sources or secondary sources?
I think primary because it actually if somebody was interviewing, it actually tells us what happened.
I will agree with you, Paloma, because I'll pick primary because it's gonna tell us how they feel.
I disagree with you because secondary source gives you more information about it.
I know, but you don't know how they feel, and you don't know how they feel when you read it.
Alyssa, do you have anything to say about this topic?
That kind of both, because in articles it could say, this was how I was feeling at that time. In the interview, it's basically the same thing.
I
agree with Alyssa because both are really good. If they're in the same, if they combined it, then it would be really good.
and we learned about the DREAM Act, and we talked about kind of both sides of the DREAM Act. What are the pros, what are the cons? And then students were asked to form their own opinion about the bill.
In my opinion, the DREAM Act should pass because they want to have a better life and they want immigrants to have education.
I agree with you, Gabby, because the Dream Act is a good thing. It lets undocumented immigrants to have a life when they know that back in their country they're doing bad stuff to their race. They're killing them.
If they come like right in and don't even ask,
They just
to-
want to
and I know, but they can also they can take all the jobs, and Americans will have very little jobs.
They got
and
opportunities.
I know.
And then they're going to get into groups of 4. This is our closure piece. And they're going to be using a graphic organizer that has 4 boxes and then 1 main box in the middle. So each of the students will write a sentence kind of summarizing what they learned through this unit, and then the 4 students will take their 4 sentences and turn them into 1.
Immigrants had to go through many struggles in the future and the past, but some didn't make it to the U.S.
Awesome, give them some snaps. I hope they understand that we're all connected in a certain way. We all have ancestors who came here for a reason, whether that was forced or whether that was because they want a better life. Snaps for the last group. Awesome job, pat yourselves on the back.